Another racetrack detective, but please, do not let its unique peculiarities crush your spirit. Well, shall we begin? No, Dark Knight, you are not losing what little grip you had on reality. You've merely entered a brave new world of my design. I control these. That ceiling applies 300 dead bats of pressure, Detective. I invented the measurement myself. Oh, Dark Knight, that looked like it hurt. Did it? I built this course in a sewer, Detective. You needed the home team advantage. Onward, Batman! Or does the Dark Knight require a pit stop?
Pit stop.
Very good, Dark Knight. Again! Careful now, Batman. You didn't go to all the trouble of painting that thing just the right shade of black in order to scuff it. Have you noticed, Batman? The walls of inevitability are closing in. That's it. I'm cranking it up. 500 dead bats of pressure. Try and avoid the descending ceiling, Dark Knight. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an unredeemable idiot? Feeling claustrophobic, Detective? Get ready for the final lap. What a fitting end for you, Detective. A stain on my floor. You'll be crushed, flattened, pulverized. Any second now. It's time. 1,000 dead bats of pressure. Enough! Another lap would be the end of you, Dark Knight, and I can't quite bring myself to stop the fun so soon. Your next key awaits.
the fun part. And here we go.
Congratulations, Catwoman. You proved yourself able to follow simple directions.
I should focus on collecting the key to save Catwoman.
Simulation activated. Simulation complete. Simulation activated. Simulation activated. activated. Simulation activated. Simulation activated.
must say, Dark Knight, that your desperate fumblings have exceeded my admittedly rather meager expectations. I am impressed. This must be how naturalists felt upon observing chimpanzees using tools for the first time. Did you know, Detective, that the cleverest chimps can even obey simple instructions? It's true. Let's try it, shall we? Go to Gotham Casino for your next test, and I'll give you a banana.
Alfred, I'm going to track the trail left by the League assassin.
I have no doubt you'll find where she's gone to ground.
Have you seen Batman's new suit? It's weird. A lot more Batman than before.
Follow our orders. You are initiates. You are untempered steel. These battles will forfeit. The Batman! Protect his head! Kill him!
The blood trail leads through here, but the automated door has no power. I need to find a way to open it. Alfred, I need to restore power to Elliot Memorial.
Well, let's see. There's a backup generator located on the exterior of the building, sir.
Thanks, Alfred.
Yo. Hey, man. Yo, can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, for sure. Do you want to rip some frickin' Halo? Yeah. No, no, no. Well, I mean, I have some time. Like I'm just ripping Arkham Knight. Uh, but I just accepted your invite through the PS here, but because yesterday I didn't notice your message, but I went to go download um your or like I downloaded all the games. So like we could play whatever. I'm down to rip some more Reach Firefight because that was fucking fun as shit. But it doesn't really matter to me either. Yeah, maybe just download Reach so it goes quicker. Oh dear God. That is pretty fucking mental. I'm telling you, dude. I mean, I know you might not be that much of like a superhero game guy, but these Arkham games are absolutely fucking insane. They're so fucking fun. So if yeah, sure thing.
The demon's head must never rise again.
Yeah, dude, these games are like you must have heard that like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 were like pretty celebrated games for the PlayStation, right?
The trail heads over the damaged floor into the morgue. I need to find a way in.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Room by the door.
Yeah. Got around to it, yeah. There's some of my all-time faves. And see the PlayStation, like the Spider-Man games were really like based around like the Arkham model. Like that's where like they're very similar in like style. Which one's on sale? Arkham or Spider-Man? Well, I guarantee you if they're on sale on Steam, the Arkham games will be way cheaper because Spider-Man probably just came to Steam. Yeah, which is kind of like 1.5. But, dude, like, the Arkham... It's 2? It was really good. It was super good. It got really good ratings actually, but the issue is, oh, the port, like the port was shit. Okay, well yeah, I would maybe hold off on that, but I honestly prefer, I loved Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. It is like playing through a movie, but the gameplay itself is really rewarding and the plot is sick. Spider-Man 2 got a little bit of criticism for just being like it's not crazy long is one thing, like, and I mean it doesn't have to be, like, it was a really good story and I was super absorbed in it, and it wasn't like short, but you know, everyone expects every game now to have like 150 hours of content. Well, it's like, it doesn't have to be, not every game has to be fucking Skyrim. And a lot of people don't want it. It also got a little bit of criticism for some kind of like narrative decisions. Basically a little bit, I really still enjoyed it, but some for sure like pretty woke ideology like seeped in. Yeah, so I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't enough to like make me not enjoy the game, but I'll say that like there were certainly some elements where like, cuz like, you know, Miles in Spider-Man 2, you play as both Peter and Miles. And like there are some, and then like obviously like Mary Jane and Harry and like a bunch of these characters are like around, and there was a little bit of like white male apology going on where Peter's like, I'm sorry, I screwed up, to like Miles the black kid and MJ the white woman, you know? And I thought that, don't get me wrong, it kind of made sense in the context of the game, because obviously you have like black suit, so there's like issues with that, where like Spider-Man, obviously, like when he's got the symbiote, he like is more of a prick. Yeah, it's cool that we're going. I've actually never chatted on Discord through the PlayStation ever before. It's just interesting that I was able to accept your invite. Are you, so where are you at like downloads wise? Because I can make the jump to yeah, for sure. But yeah, why the fuck not? Yeah, for sure. And I'm enjoying, dude, okay, I'll say this though. As much as I love the Spider-Man games, I still prefer Arkham. And Arkham Knight especially, oh my fuck, it slaps. Like, that's the trouble, right? Because it's a trilogy. So Arkham Asylum, like, the plots are all sequential, so you definitely should play all three. And they're all awesome, but City might be my favorite overall, I think, probably in terms of like plot and feel. Night, I'm absolutely loving now, because I've played Arkham and City both several times. This is my first ever replay of Night since I played it for the first time in like 2016. And just the difference in the like evolution of the scale and the gameplay and the options. Like, it's so much like bigger, it looks better, it's smoother, plus the Batmobile is so fucking cool, dude. God, it's so fucking fun. But Arkham Asylum was probably the best. People say it had the best atmosphere because it's like, it was less open world, it was a bit more linear, but like it made sense. Because like, you go to take Joker back to the asylum, and then you end up getting trapped there, and it's like his whole plan was to be caught, and then he has like a whole plan, like plot. Yeah. And then City is like the sequel. City might be the best overall plot wise. But Asylum had a really sick a really sick like environment because it was more smaller and more contained. It had like a cool atmosphere, and but I think that in some ways it's hard to go back to Asylum after you've played City and Night because like there's less gadgets. The gadget like quickfire options in the combat are like they're still really good, and the combat was fucking awesome. But even back in Arkham Asylum, but it's like, well, it's kind of like, you know, Halo CE versus like Halo 3, right? Like, right, like as it's gonna be. But I think it's important to play all three for the plot, and also all three of them feature different villains, like more or less prominently. Like yeah, like Asylum, obviously your main antagonist is the Joker, but Poison Ivy is a huge antagonist in the game, and it makes sense in the plot. Also, Bane is big in that one, and Killer Croc, and Scarecrow. And then in City, it's still Joker is the main, but then you have a lot of like Penguin, Two-Face, and then like Ra's al Ghul, like kind of like from Batman Begins in the movie. Like that's pretty huge. And then in Night, Scarecrow comes back because he's not at all in City, and he comes back and he's like the main antagonist. But there's also a character called the Arkham Knight who's like a mystery, who I won't like spoil anything or whatever, but they all do such a cool job of having all the villains and shit, and it's just so fucking fun. So Night has the best gameplay. Asylum has the best atmosphere, and I think City has the best story. I know it's so tough because like it's true. I'm so bad for giving recommendations and then not taking them. You know what I mean? Like, and not that I'm like shitting on people's recommendations. It's just that like you have the games you're currently invested in, and like people are like, "Oh, you should play this," and you're like, "Yeah, it sounds good," but like you know what I mean? Like it's hard to like sometimes it's hard to take people up on things because like you have what you're currently like into, and then it just like joins the fucking list, right? But if they're on a really good sale on Steam, fucking pick them up, dude. And honestly, you could probably skip Asylum. I definitely wouldn't skip City. I would do like City then Night for sure. You could skip Asylum. I think it's still worth playing, but it is the most like linear, and it's the only one where like the traversal is more annoying because like the gliding and like free roaming like mechanics aren't as good, and also you're in a lot of like corridors, so you're doing a lot less like gliding and grapple gunning through the city and more like running through corridors. I found that one was the easiest to kind of get like turned around in and like be like, where the fuck is this again, you know? And especially when I was playing it fucking high, I found that I was like backtracking a lot because I was like, oh fuck, I went the wrong way. In Night and City that like never happens. It's more like open world with like objective markers, and you can like go over buildings, so you're never gonna fuck up. Oh, see. Well, here's the thing. If I have them all downloaded now, I'm down for whatever, dude. Like we could play Firefight, we could rip fucking what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Is it still fucking downloading? Okay, never mind. Estimated 30 seconds remaining. It's still actually updating my file, but it's like almost done, because I guess that when maybe it's my settings, like when my computer went to sleep, it like I assumed it would just passively download, but it didn't. But it's okay, it's like done now. But anyways, we could play any Halo game, even if you wanted to like fucking play the damn fucking campaigns or something. Like, whatever you want to do, dude. Or if you want to download them. Yeah, while it's downloading, you mean? Yeah, for sure, man. That works for me. But if you'd rather just wait, I'm also happy just chatting and ripping Arkham. But I'm down to play whatever. Like, go through some Halo campaigns, rip some Firefight, do fucking whatever, man.
I should use the remote batarang to open the door.
But like, oh man. And I do think that compared to like Arkham, oh shit, I forgot I gotta change my settings. I still think that like Arkham games I think are better than the Spider-Man games because like this, yeah. Oh, that's fucking cool as shit. So are you are you in Halo right now? Okay, sick. I'll just be one sec because my PC wanted a restart. What the fuck? But I'll say I think that an area which the Arkham games are superior to Spider-Man is the gadgets are cooler. Like Spider-Man has pretty cool gadgets that aid in gameplay as well, but Batman's, they make more sense. I think they're easier to use, like, because you can use them like strategically in the environment or in like aimed way and like in like stealth sections, but you can also use them. They have like cool quick fire controls to use them like in combo and melee sections. And I think, yeah, you got Batarangs, the main one, and then you've got like Bat Claw, Explosive Gel, Remote Electric Charge, like Freeze Blast, like throughout the game, like Line Launcher, all these cool things. But so Spider-Man didn't focus so much on like score. So like there are stealth sections in Spider-Man, just like Batman, and combat. But I kind of found the combat and the stealth in Batman was a bit more rewarding because you get like more points for like variety, for like using more shit, especially like within your combo seamlessly. Whereas in Spider-Man, it didn't really keep track. It was kind of like they said it was a decision they made because they wanted people to like play their way, not play like to rack up a higher score. But I do think the Batman's one, like especially the stealth sections in Batman, I think are like more fun than in Spider-Man. Like in yeah, but yeah, the Spider-Man, the advantage of those games, like the plot in all of them is sick. I think Spider-Man probably had the edge in like sick boss battles. Like, whereas, like... Yeah. I suppose you could. I mean, it might not be as good, but, like, it depends. I think that, like... It might actually be sick, but you might have to, like, Google, and then maybe use, like, shredded chicken, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Or even, like, cook it, maybe not with the chili, and then shred it, and then add it to the chili, and then, like, let it sit and absorb the flavors for a bit. I cannot figure out what the fuck to do here. Also, the Batman games, they have, like, such a cool little, like, post-game / side quests. Like, there's tons of side stuff, but the, what the fuck? I know I got a remote batarang, but I don't see where the fuck to get at it. The Riddler, oh my god, it's like a whole, like, puzzle element where you have to use, like, your gadgets, and, like, it actually takes a lot of thought, and it's really satisfying. And it's like all over the map, so you can engage with it, like, throughout the game as you kind of come across them, or else you can, like, wait and do it all at the end, whatever, like, it doesn't matter. But it's oh, there's where to go. Like, see, just now, like, I had to use the remote batarang to open a door, and it took me a while to find the spot, and you have to, like, run it through. You have to, like, for example, there's, like, some exposed wiring, so I have to, like, I found the like, hole in this little wall to throw it through. Then I had to, like, throw it up to that exposed wiring so it gets electrified, and then thread it through the wall again, and then hit this, like, power switch with it. All in one throw. But the controls are really good. Like, the batarang, it's, like, it's challenging, but it's not, like, annoying. Yeah, like, I mean, sometimes it takes you a little bit of practice to get the hang of it, but once you do, like, my big thing, and you can switch it, like, they start inverted, and I like the inverted flight for, like, Batman's gliding, but I don't like the inverted flight for the batarang controls. So, but it's cool that you can just swap it in the options. Exactly, that's almost the exact same thing. So how was work?
She's dead.
Blood loss, I imagine, sir.
Looks like she was trying to press this. Booby-trapped. Must be more complex than a single button. I should reconstruct her last moments.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like, I mean, that's true of a lot of things, right?
Before succumbing to her injuries.
Where it's like, the school gives you the context and the background, but, like, if you just were taught the, like, steps, it's like a recipe.
Looks like she pressed the lower switch here. She hit the switch here. That's not right. I must have hit them in the incorrect order. Wrong again. I need to work out the sequence she hit the switches in.
No, that's fair. Yeah, dude. Oh, of course, man. No, for sure, dude. And it's also like, it's easy to be complacent, but like, you have done the schoolwork, so like, you're not dependent on your job. You have like, it's like Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits. Like, you have an independent skill set, so you can afford to decide where you want to apply that skill set. It's not like you didn't have the education and you just like lucked into a gravy gig and you're like, well, I can't leave, otherwise I can't. Yeah, exactly. Whereas like I noticed that because I was always kind of a slacker, and like I had a really good thing at the county. Granted, it wasn't that fulfilling because it was like kind of a dog fuck, but it was a pretty gravy gig in a lot of ways. But like when I lost it because I failed that drug test, it was cool in a lot of ways, and like I went back to school and whatever. Like you can always like find the silver lining, but I happened to be reading 7 Habits at the time, and it made me realize too that like it was really lined up with what he was saying in the book, because I thought I was independent, but I wasn't. I just switched from like living at home and being dependent on my family to then being dependent on the county. And so like that's why like when I lost my job there, I moved out of Bob's, because like I had nothing else lined up. So it was like I wasn't actually independent at all, because I didn't have a skill set that existed independently of my current profession. I just happened to like luck into a good gig because through like word of mouth and circumstance and whatever. Whereas yourself, you did the work, so there's nothing wrong with looking around, jumping around, and finding out what's the best fit for you, right? Yeah, I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt to have some consistency, no doubt about that. But like once you find the right fit, then you'll rack up your like your hours at a certain workplace, right?
Raish?
Oh well, I mean, I'm sure you'll prepare, and I'm sure you'll do well.
You've brought him back too many times. The Lazarus Stream's all that's keeping him alive.
He will rise again. Sheathe your blade. There will be no fighting here.
But war is coming. Traitors to the League conspire to stop the glorious resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. We will see Gotham burn before we let the rebels hurt our master.
Then let him die. I want you gone by morning.
The rebels have found another pit, a purer source. A sample of his essence is all he would...
Yeah, that makes sense.
need.
I won't help you revive him.
Then you'll face the consequences of war. We know you, Detective. You will not let innocents die. Yet you will not kill the demon's head to prevent their deaths. You will do as we ask, because your precious morality compels you to.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? Like, I mean, and I'm sure you just got to prep for it, right? And obviously, I'm sure once you now that you've been in the job, some of those like more schooly skills are maybe rusted a little, but that's why, just do a couple practice tests. Like, it'll come back, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's you perceive it just as work, and it like yeah, you learn the skill, you apply the skill. No, for sure, and that's also a really good way to think about it. And like I actually should have like I it was always kind of annoyed me about myself in that like I was always quite a good worker at work. Like I was always considered like a hardworking guy. I mean, it depends on the context, right? Like at the county, it was easy to fuck around, but that wasn't like a me thing. That was like a culture thing. Just because there wasn't it was the kind of like make work a lot of the time. But for me, it always annoyed me that like I'll bust my ass running wheelbarrows for 12 hours, or even at Starbucks, like I fucking hustle. Like we have fun too, but it's like a time sensitive job, so it's all of you against the fucking clock, but it would annoy me that I never seemed to apply that same attitude towards school. It was like in a weird way, I cared more about school, and yet I tried less. It was like, I mean, this fall when I went back, I probably did the best I've ever had of like trying to treat it like work, but it wasn't like I was putting a 40-hour work week into my studies. Even if I like had that ambition, it never because it's like, and it would frustrate me because it's like why would I work harder for someone else than I would for myself? But it's also just it's old habits die hard, man, and and also because that like the consequences are less immediate, right? Like if you can't just not go to work, or I mean you can fuck around at work a little bit and have fun, but there's a line. Whereas when you're self-directed and you're studying, you choose that line, and yeah, you'll pay for it if you fuck around too much, but not immediately. Not like, hey, you're fired from school. It's like, no, you just will have to fucking cram your ass off and like a little while later because you didn't stay on it. So exactly. Oh, for sure, because like, yeah, for me, that's why I like sometimes I shake my head at myself. Like, I like working hard at like Starbucks, but I do it because not because I love the fucking company. I do it because I love my fucking coworkers, and like the harder I work, the easier their day is, and then they appreciate it, and then like it also helps you socially there because, as much as people like people who are fun and like joke around and have good chats, they also like people who pull their fucking weight and like make their lives easier. So I like, but it's like I should really apply that same attitude to my own personal ambitions, and I fucking don't. I'm trying to get better at it, but it's like I never really learned those good study habits because I was always kind of like a slacker who kind of like was lucky enough to like be pretty academically inclined. Oh, for sure, yeah, and it's like Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, it's like a rougher. So it's like, and it's even going back what I was saying about that Stephen Covey, that guy who wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I was talking about like dependence versus independence. He also had a thing. One of the rules is it's more important to be needed than to be liked. Everybody would rather have a guy. It's more important if you want to be a guy who